I'm looking into for me and Peter, and it went pretty good. A lot of stuff I keep not quite being able to reach. It's so hard to figure out all this grown-up stuff. I'm trying to decide which choices to make and not really being able to trust a whole lot of people to help us without trying to hurt us. But I'm learning my discernment's really strong, and God's showing me who to trust and not trust, and just keep taking the next right actions and steps. And so I'm really proud, and everything's going really great. But I'm not feeling too good, so it makes things a little tougher. I did get turned down yesterday for something I was trying for, and that was a little sad, but I know that God has a plan for me. And I trust it, and I'm sticking with this whole, if it's going to happen, it's going to be His will. So I'm not going to push anything or ask for anything. I'm just going to know that God already has the answer and just keep working my butt off and claim the victory before it happens. So that's what I'm doing. You'll have every failure, God. What are y'all doing today? I'm blessed. I'm miraculously amazed at what God has done in my life. I was at work yesterday, met 2 people I could help. One, there's a man that has a daughter with autism that was also late diagnosed, and I'm going to help her with some acting exercises. And there was another lady at the local high school that had just gotten into acting, and her mom are so sweet. And so I told him I will help them for free. If they ever want to come up, I can work with her and her mother and teach them how to pick a monologue and how to find the one that best suits her and help her with any audition she has for free. So I'm already getting to know my community and doing my autism tutoring for free. Anyone that comes in, any preachers or anything, I just tell them, hey, I'm a late diagnosed autistic woman, and my mission is to help others feel less alone and help us feel like we can be our authentic selves without being treated like second-class citizens. So if there's anybody I can help or uplift or work with or do anything to boost their confidence, then send them my way. They can come find me here at work. It's so nice, like everything the gang stalkers had said was never true, so I've never really had to hide other than from what they were doing to me. So I can tell people, come on up to work and find me, and I can help them, and I'm not scared because other than being targeted, I've never had this happening. Before, my ex-husband and his wife paid slut and Mama Tot to do all this shit and ruined my whole life. I was just able to kind of go and help, and I think that's what they were jealous of, was that I'd lived in such bad places of the world that's why I was chosen for this mission, because God knew I wouldn't buckle under pressure. But they wouldn't have traded my destiny for anything, and they thought they wanted to. They got what they were wishing on me. And I hate that. I begged him to turn around 1,000,000 times. I told him, God said, touch not my anointed. I'm still begging Mama Tot and her husband to do the right thing, because even after every sick thing they've done to me, I don't want to watch what's going to happen if they don't stop doing evil. I mean, it's not just going away. When you mess with that kind of evil and you gang up on one person, that evil's going back somewhere. And it's not to the wrong person they tried to put it on. So that's why I pray for my enemies so hard. Because, I mean, look, I tried to warn Slut over a year to repent and stop what she was doing and to really help victims, or it would go bad, and she wouldn't listen. And the things that Indian are doing as her minion behind the scenes to to make people look like victims so they can get together with their abusers and profit. This whole thing, the whole scheme goes really deep. That's why idiots like G and Big Keen and the crazy hillbilly, right after meeting up or taking some kind of money from Slot, were all talking ugly about me on my platform, even though they all liked me. Anytime I went live with them, they acted like we were friends. But after they either Keen took a payout from Indian, and then Indian took the payout from Slot, and I know that Slot went and visited the Crazy Hillbilly Gaming before he pretended to help me. Yeah, they stole my emotional support doll with my autism, and they tried to perform like scary things on him and do things to torture him. Yeah, and they're disgusting. They gave it to that lady faking to be my sister. They beat me up. They hit me in my face. They kicked me, and they laugh about it. They try to make it like I deserved it. They tried to turn it on me so they could get away with beating me because there were so many of them. And they do get away with it. They get away with letting the cops do really shitty things. They don't protect me. They work with the hate group, unfortunately. Oh, not only do I not deserve it, but I'm out here just asking for acceptance and doing free tutoring and trying to help people. I'm not doing anything wrong. I haven't taken a payout on here in over 6 months. I'm only giving money back to help others. But I was right about the prophecy, and the evil hate group, Slot and Mama Tot and Indian, were acting like they could get victims to, acting like they were protecting them. And I think that if we go back and have a judge look, I think that they'll see that there was a payout from Kristen, or my ex-husband, to Slot and Mama Tot and the Crazy Hillbilly Gaming the week that all that happened with Sarah. I think that's why they all had the smear campaigns all set up. So I'd be interested to see that week that Mama Tot said she was going to pay G $50,000 to try to bring me and put me in a mental institution. I saw the videos of that the other day where she said that was the plan, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's what had happened. When Anna, I had the phone call with Anna saying she thought Mama Tot was involved in that too, and Missy, Slot's moderator. And right after I released that call, that's when all this stuff started coming up, because a lot of those ladies didn't want to get caught with what Slot was doing, so they started bringing forward their proof. And that's kind of what God showed me would happen. But there's more. There's more with why they're trying to steal my social security number. They're trying to basically Britney Spears me. They're taking people I haven't seen in over 20 years to try to get conservatorship over me so they could have access to any future money I made, and they could control what I did and say. So then when I knew the truth about these people stealing, they could try to shut me up. That was why they had people like Dixie and the Purple Picket lure me in and act like they were protecting me. And that phone call where it's saying that Mama Tot was going to pay G to $50,000 to pretend to lure me down there and then stick me in a mental institution. It came from we had a 4-way call with KCAB. Mama Tot was like, "You can completely trust me, I promise. I'm just going to see if she can help take you to G." And then there's messages saying that they were setting me up. It was from her and Corey and Slot and Mama Tot, making fun of the fact that they were all trying to lure me and essentially kidnap me and make it look like G was wanting to date me so they could kidnap me down to some type of institution, even though nobody had the right to do that to me. I hadn't seen any of these evil people in over 20 years. And I think that I was targeted from the very beginning when everybody started targeting Mom and Tot and tagging her when the abuse started with Sarah's husband. I'd like to go back to that day and see if it was Slot and her people trying to get her in there to have her pretend she cared about me during the abuse so they could get away with what they did. I want to go back and put all these pieces together, but I know if a judge looks into that, he will see some type of money change hands between my ex-husband and his wife, Kristen, to Mama Tot and her husband and Slot. I guarantee it. Hang on just a second. I believe that, Janine. Well, and yeah, and that's. I mean, this is what I've been praying for, because this is amazing. Like, that's what the judge knew up, and how they were pretending like they were protecting me, and they were trying to get me in the hands of the bad people. They were selling me. It was literal kidnapping and trafficking, and they did this several times. Where Dixie told me she was Mama Tot's husband's first cousin, and that she had this camper. I mean, it's the whole thing. It's just they were setting me up from Crystal. Crystal was in the hate group. She sent money to Slot. This Nancy lady was working with Slot that bought my social security number. And that's what, like, yes, I have all the proof of what I'm saying, but also if we get a judge to look at it, I'm sure he will see where Slot and Mama Tot and the Crazy Hillbilly Gaming and John actually took payouts around the time that I told my story, because everybody was on my side. Everybody was my chosen family and supporting me until Slot got involved. And that's around the time she went and met Crazy Hillbilly Gaming in person. And he started lying, using my fake last name that those fake family members made up, because they didn't even realize that I had been adopted 10 years ago. They didn't even know, because none of them had seen me in over 20 years. So we know that the Crazy Hillbilly Gaming lied and peddled misinformation, but where did he get that from? And I'm thinking it came from Slot and my ex-husband's wife, Kristen, and I think we could prove all that. Just have a judge show, did Mama Tot or Papa Tot or Slot take any kind of payout from Kristen or Justin Arnold? I think it'd be easy to kind of look through that. I know he's got cronies and stuff, but they could connect and see, did Kristen reach out to Slot at the same time that all this went haywire? And I think that the answer will 100% be yes. And I think if you listen to the phone call that I had with Mama Tot, where she told me she wanted to help get me to G safely, and then you listen to the phone calls with her and Slot, and then here, Slot changed that phone call, and I begged Mama Tot to just tell the truth and say, look, I'm telling the truth. Slot changed that around. And she chose to lie and protect her friend. So that's why I don't buy all this, like, oh, well, you can't know what your friend's doing, because I told her and I showed her and I was showing her, look, she's getting you involved in lies. She's using your trauma. I did call the detective. But that's the thing. It hasn't been my ways. Like, I wasn't doing anything. I've been trying to work my way out of homelessness, and I've had these evil people try to paint me into a corner and use me as their scapegoat so they could get away with what they're doing. But I haven't taken a payout on here in almost 7 months. The last one I gave all to DMF for charity to thank them, because they helped me while I was homeless. And so, well, I'm not here to argue with anybody. I know my journey and my story, and I'm proud of it. And I'm fighting my way out of all this bullying and everything that's going on. And I'm choosing gratitude and grace. And I'm praying for them, and I know what happened, and God knows what happened. And I'm welcome to, like, a judge can have all my phones, all my emails, all my TikToks. I will show him where everything goes together, how Mama Tot pretended to help me with abuse that day, and Slot's crew was all in there tagging her. And I'm pretty sure that I was set up from the beginning, because why would she act like she was helping me through abuse and then throw me into the bus and then be trying to pay money to get me in a mental institution if this wasn't a setup from the beginning? But I think that we will find that it was. I think if the detective looks into it, he will see that Slot and Mama Tot have been talking to my ex-husband and his wife before this even happened. How do you think her husband knew he was rich and knew he was influential and knew he could buy them whatever they wanted if they threw me into the bus? And that's what happened with my ex-husband's family. And, well, it's actually my biological family. His mom actually stood by me when he pushed me against the counter and was being abusive to me.